Okay, in this section we're going to show division. We're going to first divide by a monomial, the first two examples, and then we'll look at dividing by a bi or a trinomial. Okay, so let's take a look at the first couple of examples, okay, where we divide just by a monomial. Okay, so we have this long polynomial, 4 terms, and we're going to divide it by just a monomial, 8x. So in order to divide by a monomial, you can rewrite this as a fraction, okay? And actually, you can rewrite this as 4 separate fractions with 8x as the denominator of each of those. Okay, so negative 16x to the 4th divided by 8x, and then each of those. Write each of those out over that divisor, 8x. Okay, and then just simplify. Take the numbers and simplify if you can, and then when you divide by the same variable, you basically subtract whatever the exponent is. So you would subtract 4 minus 1, leaving x to the 3rd power for this first one. So negative 16 divided by 8 is negative 2, and then 4 minus 1 is 3x to the 3rd power. Okay, and then divide again. 16 over 8 is positive 2. The exponent, 3 minus 1, 2. 8's cancel, and x squared, 2 minus 1 is 1, so it's just x to the 1 power, or just x. And then minus 64 divided by 8 is negative 8, or minus 8, and then the x's would cancel. And there you have your answer. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, let's say we're going to divide by a negative 5x. So we're going to rewrite this as 4 separate fractions with negative 5x in the denominator of each of these. Okay, now when you have 2 negatives, that becomes positive, right? So don't forget that. 1 negative, negative answer. Okay, so here we're taking 25 divided by negative 5, which is negative 5. And then just like we did before, 4 minus 1 is 3, exponent. 2 negatives make a positive. Okay, so 15 divided by 4 is positive 3 because of those 2 negatives there. And then 3 minus 1 is 2, the exponent. Okay, only 1 negative, so I'm going to have a negative in my answer, so I'm going to write it as a minus sign. 20 divided by 5 is 4, it'd be minus 4. And then x squared, 2 minus 1 is 1 power, or just x, okay? And here, the last one, okay, the x's are going to cancel, 5's cancel. You're not left with 0, okay? Positive divided by a negative is a negative 1, minus 1, okay? So you might see that in your homework, a couple of questions like that. Don't make that 0, okay? Make it a 1, or in this case, it would be minus 1 because of the 1 negative sign. All right, let's try one question where you are using long division to divide, okay? So when you divide, there are 4 steps. Divide, multiply, subtract, and then you bring down the next number, okay? So let's go ahead and write this as long division, 4x minus 3, divided into that one. Okay, now it's really important that they are in descending order, 3, 2, 1, 0, that's the exponents, and that they are all represented, okay? There are no missing terms, okay? 3, 2, 1, none, we're all good, okay? So 4 steps. We're going to divide the first terms. Okay, so I'm going to write it off to the side here. Okay, and when we divide 8 over 4, we get 2x squared. So I'm going to write above the x squared here, 2x squared. Second step is to multiply. What are we going to multiply? That 2x squared times each of these terms here. So that gives me 8x cubed. And then multiply again, that gives me minus 6x squared. Third step, we subtract down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in parentheses and put that minus sign in front of that parenthesis, okay? So 8 minus 8 is 0. And then negative 10 minus minus, that makes that plus 4x, or 6x, I'm sorry. So negative 10 plus 6 is negative 4x squared. And then bring down the next term. Okay, now let's start this all over again. We're going to divide the first terms. Okay, so the first term is negative 4x squared over 4x. So that gives me negative x. Okay, the 4's canceled, and then one of the x's is removed, and so it's negative x. There it is. And then we'll multiply negative x times 4x, and negative x times negative 3, positive 3x. And then we're going to subtract, parentheses with a minus sign in front. Okay, negative minus minus 4, that makes that plus 4, opposites add up to 0. Negative 9 minus 3, negative 12x. Bring down the next term. Okay, now let's go ahead and one more time divide the first terms. Negative 12x over 4x. So negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3, minus 3. And then we're going to go ahead and multiply negative 3 times 4x, and negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. We're going to subtract negative 12 minus minus, that's plus 12, 0. 14 minus 9, positive 5. And then this 5 is the remainder. Okay, so you're going to write the remainder 5 over the divisor, 4x minus 3. Okay, there's my and it's positive, right? So positive 5 over 4x minus 3. And then the rest went in front of the remainder. That would be 2x squared minus x minus 3. Okay, so if you'd like, check out the next video. I'm going to do the rest of the division in the next video.